Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law, and today we're going to talk about the Chapter 7 bankruptcy process. So Chapter 7 is the type of bankruptcy that actually wipes out your debt. Chapter 13 is a different type of bankruptcy that isn't appropriate for most of my clients, and that's a renegotiation of your existing debt and a payment plan over the course of 3 to 5 years. So people for whom Chapter 7 is appropriate are those who have more than $10,000 in debt and don't have a substantial amount of assets that we're worried about being lost in the bankruptcy. And I'm going to do a different podcast on whether you're a good candidate for a Chapter 7. But in this one, we're going to focus on what the process is. So when you hire us for a Chapter 7, the first thing we do is give you a questionnaire to fill out that'll tell us what your assets, liabilities, income, and expenses are. And that gives us the information that we need to file the bankruptcy. When we file the bankruptcy, we file a petition requesting bankruptcy relief and that the debts be discharged. We also file something called schedules, which list all of your assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. And there's a lot of documentation that goes along with it. Before we can file that petition, you need to take a credit counseling course. You can take them online, and they're pretty quick and inexpensive. But we need a certification from the course that you took saying that that course was taken. So once we get the questionnaire and the certification from you, we can go ahead and file the bankruptcy. Once the bankruptcy is on file, within 30 to 45 days, there's going to be a meeting of the creditors. It's called the first meeting of creditors. But creditors almost never show up to these things. What it really is me, your attorney, you, the debtor that's filing for bankruptcy, and the trustee sitting around a table. The trustee is the attorney responsible for managing your bankruptcy case, and he or she isn't a judge. They're just someone responsible for making sure that there's no fraud going on, making sure that they've examined your schedules, and if there are assets over and above the exemption amounts that you're allowed to keep in the bankruptcy, that those assets are collected to pay your creditors. Now, if we do our job right as your bankruptcy attorney, we're going to be sure that if we file a Chapter 7, there's no assets for the trustee to go after. So what usually happens at those meetings is the trustee spends about 5 minutes going over your bankruptcy schedules, asking you some basic questions, making sure that there's no fraud going on. And after those 5 minutes, the trustee will usually enter a discharge order saying that your debts are discharged and there were no assets to be collected. After that discharge order is entered, you have to take a second financial management course before the case can be closed. And this is also something you can do online. And during the 45-day period after that trustee meeting, creditors have an opportunity to object to the discharge. Again, this very rarely happens. It's something that we don't see often. If we're doing our job right, we're already making sure that there's nothing to object to when we file the bankruptcy. So again, 30 to 45 days after filing, you have this first meeting of creditors, and at that point your debts are discharged, and 30 to 45 days after that, your bankruptcy case should be closed, assuming you've taken that second financial management course. When we file the initial petition for bankruptcy at the outset, all creditors have to stop any collection actions. But the debts aren't actually wiped out until the closure of the bankruptcy when the objection period has passed after the discharge order that's entered at the first meeting of creditors. So if you'd like to schedule an initial consultation, please call my office at 630-324-6666. If you'd like to learn more about bankruptcy or any other legal service we offer, and we offer most of them, you can go to learn-about-law.com. So it's learn about law with some hyphens in between the words. Thanks for your time.